Tonight, we investigated internet real estate scam that is sweeping the nation. Incredible deals on beautiful houses for that perfect getaway. But there's just one little detail the listing is leaving out. The actual homeowners have no idea what's going on. So we went undercover to get to the bottom of it for our series, Nightline, On the Lookout.
Please leave your message after the tone.
David, Brian and I are standing here at the rental house, but you're supposed to be here with the key. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a stick-up.
David,
No gun or getaway car required.
you're not here.
All the bad guys here needed was an internet connection and some stolen photos. You wouldn't have taken our money, would you? They almost got Brian, a regular guy from Indiana who answered an ad to rent the house behind us.
Okay, so we're going to try it with a different phone.
But Brian is helping us lay a trap now for a man who took nearly $2,000, promised to meet us with the key, and never showed up. He wouldn't do that, would he?
Leave your message after the tone.
All over the country, people are losing money to fake rental listings, more than ever before, according to the FBI. Even in this small Oregon town, 15 separate victims lost more than $20,000 on the exact same house, advertised on Craigslist by a shadowy fake landlord. And here in California,
I should have thought, wow, you know, $400 a night, this house is amazing. How could that be? And I thought maybe we were lucky.
Sherry McCaffrey booked this house in South Lake Tahoe for her extended family, all 14 of them, through the rental website homeaway.com.
Kind of like a Bali style setup.
Her cousin Joyce, along with her husband and daughter, got there first. While Sherry was still on the road, they walked right in.
It was totally unlocked.
It's sprawling, big
Must be
place.
4,000 square feet inside there, you know, fully decked out.
I felt like singing. I was so happy.
There was just one problem.
So I came home recently, and much to my surprise, there was a car here in my driveway.
Sean, the owner, had not put his home up for rent.
And I could see that there were people milling around in my house. I took a peek through the slats of this window here and recognized that were total strangers in my house. I entered my house with some trepidation.
All of a sudden, we saw a man come in.
The little girl sort of screamed.
I was kind of surprised. I didn't know who he was.
I informed them that I was the owner of the house.
He basically said, sorry to tell you this, but you guys have been scammed.
But the McCaffrey family weren't the only ones to arrive on Sean's doorstep.
Over the last 2 weeks, I have confirmed episodes with various groups, families, believing that they were renting my properties when indeed they'd been scammed.
HomeAway.com claims it's rare on their site. Less than 1 in 10,000 listings are fake. But confirms there were 10 other travelers who thought they had rented Sean's house through fraudulent listings seen on their websites. Authorities are still looking for the cyber criminal who did it. According to the FBI, the people who create these ads are virtually impossible to catch.
You don't have to be a Bugsy Siegel with a machine gun anymore. Really what you have to do is be a guy with access to the internet if you want to scam people of their money.
It's a faceless transaction, and unscrupulous people take advantage of that and exploit people.
We wanted to flush out one of these phantom landlords by posing as an unsuspecting target. And that's how we got involved with Brian.
So did he identify himself as David right off the bat?
He found his dream rental on Craigslist, a sprawling house on the island of Nantucket, for $1,500 a week.
This house in this ad looked just absolutely fantastic.
Brian and his wife planned an end-of-summer vacation before 2 of their kids left for college. But then he got suspicious.
The more I started looking at this house, I was getting more concerned that it really was too good to be true.
And so Brian pulled a Nancy Drew. He called the Nantucket Town Hall and tracked down the real owner of the house he wanted to rent.
So at that point, I had a name, I had an address of somebody in New York, the real owner of the property.
It won't surprise you, the owner was not named David. He had no clue his house was posted on Craigslist. He was renting the house, but not for $1,500 a week. Try $20,000.
What's your suspicion about how he got the pictures of the house?
I think they just took the pictures of the house from the looking on the internet and created their own little Craigslist ad, and that was it.
It's called scraping, creating fraudulent rental listings by using photos, details, and descriptions scraped from other legitimate websites. In this case, probably from when the house was on the market a year ago. But it wasn't the images that first raised Brian's suspicions. It was the poor grammar in David's texts and emails. He handed them over to us. After weeks of texting back and forth, we get David on the phone.
Hey there, how are you?
I pose as Brian's wife to arrange payment and go over the details of our arrival.
We're so excited about our vacation.
David promises to meet us with the keys in front of the house.
Sorry, I didn't hear you well. I'm sorry?
But the phone connection is horrible. Something to look out for. If you think you're talking to Nigeria, you just might be.
So when we get off the ferry, do we go left or right?
And while I know something about the geography of Nantucket Island, I'm beginning to get a hunch that David really doesn't. And the following week, we travel to Nantucket, meet up with Brian to see if David will actually show up.
So what do I do? Forward left, right?
I would turn right. Well, it says turn left.
Turn left.
Okay.
But after trying to follow his directions,
Here we go. Here's the right.
my suspicion was confirmed.
I found a lighthouse, but not the house. Okay.
So we put the address in our GPS.
These are beautiful. Okay, which house
So we're
is
looking
it?
for
Number 19.
And arrive at the actual house, where we wait and wait and wait.
David, Brian and I are standing here at the rental house, but you're supposed to be here with the key and it's 12:09?
All we got was his voicemail.
He's not here.
But there was one last lead. On the bottom of the fake rental contract, we noticed there is a local address for David's supposed company.
And you're not a real estate agent?
David's trail has gone cold, and we're pretty sure he's gone for good.
There isn't very much to do about it.
It's a story we found out local police are all too familiar with.
Do you have the resources to fix this?
Locally, we don't. Generally, we refer the cases to different federal agencies, the FBI, the Secret Service, or the postal inspectors, with varying degrees of success.
Frankly, it's just too small for them.
And how much do you have to have lost in order for the FBI to be able to step in?
Typically in the millions of dollars, or the actual activity is part of an organized crime ring.
So unless you're renting the entire Nantucket Island, it's ultimately up to you to protect yourself from people like David. We had some unfinished business, and we're determined to confront David about ripping us off.
Just a couple of days ago, we reached David on the phone. Hi, David?
He is still at it, this time trying to rent us an apartment in New York.
We sent you $1,850 to rent a house in Nantucket. You were supposed to meet us with the key, but you never came. How many people have you ripped off? How many people have you stolen money from? Expletive. He said he's not a criminal. He says he's in Brooklyn. I don't think so.
Brian's family didn't end up with their dream house, but still had a dreamy vacation. And so did the McCaffrey clan in Lake Tahoe, who found last-minute accommodations and learned a valuable lesson. Never let Cherry book your vacation.
Well, the FBI tells us they are actively collecting data about these crimes, and if you've been taken, providing the details to the FBI may ultimately help them catch the crooks. For more information, visit our website at abcnews.com/nightline.